Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're looking at a tool that is fundamentally rethinking how teams store and share information. If you've ever felt like managing your company's documentation requires a PhD in cloud infrastructure, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're exploring Astucia Wiki. It presents itself as the ultimate antidote to bloated, complex cloud documentation tools. It's a self-hosted platform that literally strips away all the heavy machinery while keeping the powerful features your team actually relies on. Heavy frameworks, vendor lock-in, endless database migrations. Does that sound familiar? Right? For a lot of tech-adjacent teams and startup founders, the modern wiki has just become a massive headache. You just want a simple place to store knowledge, but instead, you end up trapped in these complex ecosystems, worrying about connection pools, cloud vendors suddenly changing their pricing, or the absolute terror of moving your data if you ever decide to leave. While Astucia Wiki is a radically simple solution designed to actually give you your data back. So, here is our roadmap for today. 1. The flat file philosophy. 2. Creating powerful content. 3. Seamless team collaboration. 4. AI assistance and automation. And 5. Real-world use cases. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The flat file philosophy. And this brilliantly illustrates the core difference. When you look at the traditional wiki model, you're dealing with heavy frameworks and complex databases that completely tie you down to a specific vendor. But look at Astucia's approach. Every single page, diagram, list, and chat thread is just a plain file sitting on a disk. It's fully open source and versioned with Git. Need a backup? You literally just copy a folder using a standard file syncing tool like rsync. Need to restore? Just unzip a file. You aren't relying on a cloud vendor to keep your knowledge accessible. You literally hold the files in your own hands. Well, on your own server.
I really want to pause on this number. 0. That is the number of databases required to run this entire platform. No databases, 0 external services needed, the only dependency is PHP. There's no front-end build step at all, which means you can deploy this whole thing on a shared host, a virtual private server, or literally a Raspberry Pi running standard web servers like Nginx or Apache in under 15 minutes. The only moving part is just a JSON index file that rebuilds itself automatically. It is incredibly lightweight.
Moving on to Section 2. Creating powerful content.
Now, extreme backend simplicity doesn't mean you're sacrificing features. The toolset here is incredibly robust. You're writing in a full-featured Markdown editor with inline editing and tons of keyboard shortcuts. But it goes way beyond just text. Astucia actually embeds the Draw.io editor directly inside it, so you can create complex architecture diagrams without ever leaving the app, and they render beautifully as SVG previews. Need to track data? They have structured lists, which are essentially spreadsheet-style data tables with typed columns for text, dates, or auto-incrementing numbers, complete with filters and CSV export. Plus, to get your team moving fast out of the gate, it comes bundled with 10 templates for things like meeting notes, decision records, and API references.
All right, Section 3, Seamless Team Collaboration. Let's move to and see how this builds into an incredibly smooth day-in-the-life workflow. Imagine you're working on a document. Step 1, you draft your Markdown page. Step 2, right there on the exact same screen, you open the attached page chat panel. And this isn't just some generic global chat. This chat is tied directly to the page you're looking at. Step 3, you ask an AI assistant a question. Because it's a page chat, the AI automatically receives the full content of your specific page as its context. And here's the crazy part. If the AI decides to update your page based on your chat, the page actually refreshes live for you right there on the screen with a quick toast notification. You are literally collaborating with an AI directly inside your documents. But of course, it's not just about AI. It's about real human teams securely working together. Astucia handles team dynamics beautifully. You can use standard single sign-on providers like OIDC or Auth0 to securely log your team in. You can also divide your entire wiki into isolated spaces. This means your engineering team and your HR department can have their own walled-off workflows, switchable right from the sidebar. You also get threaded team chats that function as standalone files right in the wiki tree, complete with real-time polling, emoji pickers, and user mentions. You can even set up anonymous reading, allowing the public to view certain spaces while keeping the editing strictly locked down to authenticated users. Which brings us to Section 4, AI Assistance and Automation.
This is where things get really cool. By utilizing a system user token, you can actually schedule AI agents to run automatically on an agentic loop. Think about it like this. You can tell the system, hey, every Friday or on the first of every month, run this specific agent. These virtual teammates will wake up in the background. No coffee required. Read specific wiki pages, synthesize the information, and actually write and publish brand new wiki pages all by themselves. And if something fails, they just send you an email alert. It's essentially like adding an autonomous worker directly to your team.
Now, what's really interesting about this setup is how natural the interaction is. You can trigger these AI models simply with an @ mention in any chat thread. But the bots aren't just spitting text back at you. They actually have the ability to read your entire wiki's context and write wiki pages as tools during the response. And if your team is handling super sensitive product info, you can set this up to function as a completely private RAG assistant. This means the AI searches your private documents to answer questions, but absolutely no proprietary data ever leaves your server. It's a completely private, incredibly smart virtual assistant embedded right in your files.
Section 5. Real-world use cases.
So let's zoom out and look at some macro scenarios to see how this all comes together. For an engineering knowledge base, an automated CI pipeline, which is just your standard software release system, can authenticate as a system user to auto-update API reference docs on every single software release. Literally, no one has to write docs manually. What about daily reporting? Well, a simple automated timer like a cron job can use the API to read yesterday's chat threads and task lists, ask the AI to write a stand-up summary, and create a new page using a specific status report template so the format is perfectly consistent. For HR, those structured lists we talked about track onboarding completion, safely locked behind single sign-on. And for a research team, they just tag their notes all week long, and then on Friday, an AI agent job automatically reads all the tagged notes and publishes a beautifully synthesized summary report with internal links. It's incredibly versatile.
So the crucial point is captured perfectly right here in this quote from their documentation. Every edit is a git commit with author attribution, giving compliance teams a full audit trail they can export at any time. Because Astucia tracks everything through Git automatically, and I mean even handling renames and moves seamlessly across folders, compliance teams don't have to rely on some clunky proprietary database log. You get a perfect industry-standard audit trail, and with literally one click, you can restore any previous version of a page. A flat file system doesn't mean less security. It actually offers superior, transparent accountability. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Is your team's knowledge base working for you? Or are you working for it? Seriously, if you're constantly battling complex databases, worrying about vendor lock-in, or writing repetitive reports that an AI could easily synthesize for you, you might just be working for your tool. Astucia Wiki offers a powerful alternative. A beautifully simple, flat file structure combined with cutting-edge AI and markdown features that you actually control. And the absolute best part? It takes under 15 minutes to install. Definitely something to think about the next time your massive cloud wiki goes down for maintenance. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep learning.